So last time we talked about a demand model that looks like this. So D1 equals to 1 minus P1 plus BP2. D2 equals to 1 minus P2 plus BP1. What I want to do this time is to show you a customer utility model. So from the customer perspective, what is the utility of buying a product? So there are two types of utility model. One is called horizontally differentiated. The other one is vertically differentiated. So for horizontal differentiated, so basically that capture different customer have different preference. And we cannot say that one preference is always better than the other preference. So for example, customer prefer clothes that are red color versus clothes that is blue color. So you are not able to say that a red color cloth is always better than a blue color cloth. And you cannot say that a red color cloth is worse than a blue color cloth. So it depends on who you ask. So some people may be willing to pay more for a red color cloth, and other people may be willing to pay more for blue color cloth. So people are different, and that is called horizontal differentiated. The second type is called vertical differentiated. For vertical differentiated, basically it captures the more the better, the higher quality the better. Let's say if the two product, one product have higher quality while the other product have a lower quality, then everyone would be willing to buy one with a higher quality if the price is the same. So notice that there's a big difference between horizontal and vertical. For horizontal differentiated, let's say a red cloth and blue cloth both cost $100. It is not obvious that who would buy red and who would buy blue. So some people would find that $100 would buy red, and some people would find that $100 they buy blue. But then for vertically differentiated, let's say there's two products. One product have a high quality and the other product have lower quality. If both products cost $100, then everyone is going to buy one that has a higher quality. No one is going to buy the one with a lower quality. The reason that people want to buy one with a lower quality because it's cheaper. But if the price is the same, everyone will buy a high quality. So let's try to look a little bit more concerning about the horizontal differentiated utility model. So you can imagine that right now, everyone are living on a street. And the street have a length of 0 to 1. So it's 1, let's say 1 kilometer. And customers are living uniformly distributed across this street. So that means some people are living on the left side, some people living on the middle side, and some people living on the right-hand side. So there are two different companies. Firm A is located at x equals to 0. So let's say on the left side, while firm B is located at x equals to 1. Let's say on the right-hand side. The value of a product, either product A or product B, has a value of V. So some particular value V. The price of a product A is PA and the price of the product B is PB. So you can imagine right now a scenario. So there are two places to sell bottled water. One is located at x equal to 0. The other is located at x equals to 1. You can go to either place to buy bottled water. And then all the customers are living between these two supermarkets. And then firm A, which is the one located at X equal to 0, is selling bottled water at PA. Firm B, which sell bottled water at X equal to 1, is selling the product at PB. So the customer are living between the two supermarkets. So they need to get to the supermarket by taking a taxi. So a taxi can be thought of as a transportation cost, and that is a per unit transportation cost. So that means in order for a customer to get from their home to supermarket, they need to pay money for the taxi drive. The further you live from a firm, then the more money you have to pay. So if a customer is not buying anything, then the utility equals to 0. Then let's say you are a customer that is located at X. For example, X is 0.5, okay? Let's say X equal to 0.5. And then if you want to buy from firm A, then you have to travel 0.5 from your home to firm A, because firm A is located at 0 and you are located at 0.5. So therefore, the utility of yourself getting to buy a product is V, which is the value of the product minus T multiplied by X, which is how much money you have to pay the taxi driver, minus PA, which is how much you have to pay for the product. Same thing. If you are located at X equal to 0.5, to get from your home to firm B is also 0.5. So that means the utility for yourself buying from B is equals to V, which is the value of the product, minus T multiplied by 1 minus X. So 1 minus X is the distance between your home to the supermarket, and then minus PB. So of course, if X equals to 0.2, then you would be closer to firm A. But then it depends how much is firm A charging. So if firm A is charging a much higher price than firm B, you may actually prefer to buy from firm B. So, so which company are you going to buy the product depends on two things. The one thing is how much price are they charging? The second thing is what is the taxi driver charging you? T multiplied by X, or T multiplied by 1 minus X. Let me give you an example. So if the value of the product is 100, so that means you value a bottled water 100. Okay? And then from A and from B, they both charge the bottled water at $50. Okay, $50. And then if the taxi ride is, let's say 10 per unit, okay? So V equals to 100, PA and PB are both equals to 50, and then T equals to 10, so the per unit taxi ride money. So if you live at X equals to 0, X equals to 0, then the utility for yourself buying from firm A is 100 minus 0 minus 50. Okay, you don't have to pay any taxi ride, so therefore it's minus, like the transportation cost is 0. So that means you get a utility of 40. You get a utility of 50. So 100 minus 0 minus 50 equals to 50. If you buy from firm A, if you want to buy from firm B, so you have to pay a taxi of 10 per unit multiplied by the distance, which is 1 minus 0, because you're living at 0. So that means you have to pay taxi for $10. Then the utility for yourself would be 100 minus 10 minus 50, which is only 40. Then you have to decide whether to buy from firm A or from B. If you buy from firm A, you get utility of 50. If you buy from firm B, you get a utility of 40. Then of course, you are going to buy from firm A. If you're a customer that is located at the middle of the street, so the middle of the street, that means x equals to 0.5. So the utility of you buying from firm A would be 100 minus 10 multiplied by 0.5, which is 5, minus 50. So that means if you buy from firm A, you have utility of 45. If you buy from firm B, the utility is 100 minus 10 multiplied by 1 minus 0.5. So you are leaving 0.5 away from B. So then it would be 10 multiplied by 0.5, which is 5. So you also have to pay $5 travel to from B minus 50. So that means you also have a utility of 45 buying from B. So the customer located in the middle is called the indifference customer. Okay? So then in order to explain the concept a little bit more, so let's consider this example. We have seen this example before. Last time, we used the demand function of D equals to 1 minus P1 plus BP2. Now I change from firm 1, 2 to firm AB. And the price is PA and PB. So the question is, how much should firm A charge the product and how much should firm B charge the product? So let's go to Mathematica. Okay. So the utility of a customer buying from firm A colon equals to the value of the product minus T multiplied by X minus PA. What I have written is the general utility function that I have just shown you in this line, the last line, V minus TX minus PA. Utility of a customer buying from firm B colon equals to V multiplied by T multiplied by 1 minus X minus PB. So those are the two different utility functions. And then you want to find out which customer would be indifference between buying these two products. Which customer would be indifference between buying these two products? So this customer, where does this customer live? Does it live at x equals to 0.5 or x equals to 0.6 or x equals to 0.2? So let me do shift enter. So what I'm asking is, what would be the x such that the utility is the same? So UA equals UB comma x. So this equation would find out the x value such that the two utilities are the same. If you solve this, you would find out this is something looks like this. Let me try to write it in a nicer way. So this is this value, but then we can also express this. X equals X. Okay, so this function and this function are the same. Okay, you will notice that there's a t at the end divided by 2t. So t divided by 2t, we get 1/2. We have pb minus pa. So pb minus pa. So let's try to understand this function. So when the two firms charge the same price. PB equals to PA. If the two firms charge the same price, then we make this to be 0. That means the customer living at x equals to 0.5 would be indifference. So this makes sense. So you can imagine that if two companies charge the same price, then if you live at exactly the middle, okay, x at 0.5, then you don't really care whether you go to the left or go to the right because it's the same distance. When PB and PA are not the same, so you can look at this term. So when firm B charge a higher price than firm A, firm B charge a higher price at firm B. Firm B charge a higher price than firm A. So in that case, so PB minus PA becomes positive. So that this X value actually is bigger than 0.5. It may be 0.6 or 0.7. So that means when firm B charge a higher price, then if you live in the middle, you still want to go to firm A because firm B charge a high price. So if firm B charge slightly higher price, then maybe if you are 0.51, then you become indifferent. But if firm B charge a much higher value than firm A, then maybe you would be a customer living in 0.7 in order to be indifferent. And then in the denominator, there's a 2t. There's a t. That means when t increase, so the taxi ride becomes more expensive, then the difference between PB minus PA would need to be larger in order for the indifference customer to shift to the right or to the left. Okay, so let me give you an example. So for example, the difference between the two prices, PB and PA, maybe $10, let's say $10. But then taking a taxi actually costs $100, okay? Or maybe $1,000. So under that situation, then if you are a customer located at 0.51 or 0.52, then you find the taxi ride is too expensive. So therefore, you will still want to buy from A, from B, because the difference in PB minus PA does not justify the price of the taxi ride. Okay, so that is how you try to understand this indifference customer. But then from the firm perspective, the demand, okay, so let me erase this. So we have an X. So the demand of the customer of firm A is all customer located between 0 to this indifference customer. Okay, between 0 to this indifference customer. While the rest are the demand of firm B. Okay, so we spend a lot of time trying to explain what is an indifference customer. If you understand the indifference customer, then everyone on the left-hand side of the indifference customer would buy from firm A. Everyone living on the right-hand side of the indifference customer will buy from firm B. So that is how you generate DA and DB. So the rest would be easy. Okay, so let me consider the profit. Profit A so I have a simple situation. So when the two production costs are 0, both products have 0 production cost, then the profit of firm A and profit of firm B would be PA multiplied by DA and PB multiplied by DB. So in order to find out how much price I should charge, then I simply take the derivative. So I make the simple assumption that both firms charge the price at the same time. Okay, so when both firms charge the price at the same time, then I solve both equations at the same time. So we use the solve equation. So there is the list of equations. So the list of equation is the derivative of profit A as a function of A equals to 0, and also D profit B PB equals to 0. So those are the two equations, and the two unknowns are PA and PB. And after we solve, so we have the answer PA equals to T and PB equals to T. So what it meant is that if the utility of the customer of buying two products like this are like this, and then if the production cost is equals to 0 for both firms, then this is what firm A and firm B would do. Both would charge the same price. And then the profit of the firm. So factor profit A equals to T divided by 2. And then factor profit B, also T divided by 2. So the intuition of this is that when T increase, so that means when the taxi driver charging the transportation cost increase, then profit A actually increase. So we can imagine a scenario when T is almost equals to 0. That means it's very, very easy to take a taxi from one place to the other place. So in that case, then both firms actually cannot charge a high price because their price is equal to T. So the reason is that they would be in a more intense competition when the customer can move around very easily. So when T is small, then customer can move around easily and the profit is small. On the other hand, when the transportation is very expensive, you can imagine that, let's say, the two locations are separated by a really far place, and in order for you to go from one place to the other place is by airplane. So airplane is very expensive. So T would be very large. Then that allows a company to charge a higher price. And when a company can charge a high price, so then the profit would increase as well. So what I want you to do right now is to do this model again, but then this time C1 equals to C and C2 equals to 0. So that means firm A, the production cost of firm A is C, and the production cost of firm B is 0. So firm B have an advantage in production cost. So under that situation, I want to know how much would PA and PB be.